Hey, hello and welcome back to my channel. John here. I really been a very long time in the channel, and that was due to the fact that myself and my team we had to go back to re-strategize on how to add some kind of important forums and tools that are going to be both relevant to our niche and for helping digital marketing niche in general. So this time around, what are the things that we're able to add? We're able to add the JInside forum. All you got to do is to head on to jinside.com/forum and you'll be able to see a lot of thread quotes and some forums that we already created, and you see a host of other digital marketers and email marketers that are asking a lot of great questions. I can also join them to add your own questions. And don't also forget to read the forum rules and regulation before adding any question. For instance, let me just say one here. You don't have to add link at your like immediately after your registration. You got to build reputation on the platform before you start adding links. And when you add link, you must add link that is relevant to the question that you're asking. For instance, you can't be asking a question or answering question about digital marketing and you're going to add link talking about maybe finance or crypto or bookkeeping to the platform. If you do that, automatically there are strict moderation. Our moderation team are going to ban you. And aside from our moderation team banning you, there is always there's a rule set on the platform in such a way that if you continue to fail or spam on the platform, you are going to automatically be banned. The algorithm is going to ban you automatically. So that is that about the forum. The next tool that we're able to add to jinside.com is the SEO analyzer.click. And what does this tool do? Is actually an SEO scanning tool or website where you can scan your SEO issues. All you got to do is just to input your domain name. Just type your domain name inside the typing field, then click on review. And this tool is going to scan all your websites, or e-commerce store to see all the potential SEO issues that you might be having. For instance, we have the about the tool part where you can always go and read about the tool. We also have the technical SEO part, and we also have I'm still going to go back to talk about the technical SEO part, but let me go to the competitive analysis or the competitors analysis part. For instance, if you are somebody that SEO is of a great priority to you, you understand that to potentially rank on the first page of Google. Remember, ranking on the first page of Google is not guaranteed, but you can potentially rank on the first page of Google by doing some kind of things like the technical SEO, the on-page SEO, the social signal, and building backlinks, and a lot of things. This time around, the tool is going to help you to analyze your competition to see the person that you are targeting. For instance, if you type a search keyword on Google search, like a keyword that you want to rank on the Google search result or any search engine like Bing or Yandex or Yahoo or any search engine at all, you are going to see like people that are appearing on the first page of Google or any of the search engines. So all you got to do is to study your competitions very well. You have to study the websites or domains that are already ranking on that search term that you're trying to rank. So all you got to do, what this tool is going to help you to do is to help you analyze the two websites, both your website and the competitors' website, to see like things that your competitions are doing and things that you're not doing. All you got to do is to just type in your competitor's domain name inside the competitor's domain name field, then type in your own domain name inside your own domain name field and click on review or scan or whatever on the website. And the tool is going to go to both your competitor's domain or website and your own website too and scan everything. So after scanning everything, it's going to give you a summary of your competition, everything that they are doing and you're not doing, and things that you're doing better and that your competitions are not doing better. And you also have the flexibility of downloading all these results and using it for your future reference. And also, if you're also a freelancer, you can also utilize this tool because a lot of persons of Fiverr are paying for SEO reports. So all you got to do is also to go back to this tool and just analyze any website, and you also have the opportunity to download the result of the scan. So after downloading it, you can now submit it to your client, and the person is going to be able to pay you on Fiverr or any freelance platform. So that is that about that. So let me briefly talk about the technical SEO part. To potentially rank on the Google search results, we have the technical SEO part, which of course, as the name implies, deals with technicalities. We also have the on-page SEO and the social signal part, and also building backlink. That there are a lot of different things that determines if you're going to potentially rank on on the Google search result or not, or any search engine at all. But one of the most important is the technical SEO part, which is where you have to perform and make sure that some kind of technical things are in place before we even start talking about the on-page SEO and the off-page SEO and the social scanner and building of backlinks and all. So the first thing I want to talk about, of which is also on the two websites I'm employing, of course, I'm going to leave all the links in the description, both the link to both my agency, the new agency that we're building, web development agency, and these two websites I'm talking about, and also the link to the J Inside forum where you can also add any question that you want to add. So for the technical SEO part and for the SSL certificate, the first thing is adding the SSL certificate. So if SEO is really of great importance to you, or if you want to be collecting payment on your website, this is very, very important. Because payment integration, they always frown at you not putting SSL, and is one of the criteria for Google ranking your website. But let me just talk about the importance as an e-commerce agent or person. So if you don't fix the SSL certificate on your website, you may not be able to do some kind of payment integrations on your website. So your website will show this kind of psychological red sign because your website is not secured. If maybe your visitors go to the key icon on your domain name and click on the key, is going to show not secured. Apart from a payment issue, it is very, very optimally important for SEO, because Google is not going to recommend your website, or Yandex or Bing or any search engine at all, Yahoo. They're not going to recommend your website if your website is not secured, because is going to pose a potential threat to people that are visiting your website. So it's very, very important for you to fix SSL certificates on your website. For instance, if you can always buy these SSL certificates on your domain, from your domain registrar account, from any place that you bought your domain from, say Namecheap or Bluehost, or any place that you bought your domain at all from, or you're going to buy your domain from, you can actually buy this SSL certificate. But if you are using a WordPress website, you can use a plugin. There are a lot of plugins for doing this. If I can still remember very clearly, we have the really simple SSL or simple radius. I don't know. Just go to the plugin free directory and type on your WordPress website and search for really simple SSL. You are going to be able. You don't really need to buy SSL certificate if you're using WordPress. All you got to do is to head on to the WordPress plugin directory and search for really simple SSL, and you're going to be able to install this great plugin and install SSL certificates on your domain. So that is that about SSL certificate. The next thing you in that technical SEO guide, of which I'm going to leave all the links in the description. Don't worry, both the SEOanalyzer.click, my forum, and the agency that we recently launched, the Quick Beautify agency, which deals with web development and design, and also UI UX design, and a whole lot of different blogging. So I'm going to leave all the links in the description for you to check all these great tools and features out to help me and you grow online. So the next thing we have under that technical SEO is having only one version of your domain. So for instance, and this can of course be configured inside your domain registrar account, you can either have maybe a www version of your domain or the non-www version of your domain. It's either you choose one, because if you don't choose one, Google is going to duplicate your website. Your website is going to appear 2 times on the Google search result, and you're going to be a kind of competing against yourself on the Google search result. You're going to be competing between 2 pages which you actually own on the Google search result. So it's very, very important for you to have only one version of your domain, and this can easily be done inside also your domain registrar. All you got to do, if you're using Namecheap, just go to Advanced DNS File, just add a CNAME record and just point it to your and just point a CNAME to your root domain, and that is all. And then add I think the host should be www. Just point it using @ to your domain name in such a way that anytime anybody queried www.something, is going to redirect to your root domain. For instance, jinside.com, if you type www.jinside.com, it's going to auto redirect to jinside.com. So that is it. So Google or any search engine at all is going to recommend only one version of my domain. So I do think the next thing on that technical SEO guide, of course, I recommend you go and read it up on as a part of SEOanalyzer.click. I have a whole different part or a section that I talked about this. The next thing I talked about there is the slug or the permalink. So you really need to update your permalink. Always try to put a very friendly permalink. For instance, if you're on WordPress, try to use post name, because that is the slug or permalink that is SEO friendly according to experts. So if by default, I know that by default WordPress, they have a whole different kind of permalink. For instance, if you publish a post, the directory of that post is going to, maybe say if I publish on jinside, the default on WordPress is going to be jinside.com/that post, and the default on WordPress is always, they always have a whole lot of strings of numbers. So this time around, you got to change it to post name, so that it's going to be SEO friendly and Google can be able to recognize your website easily on the Google search result. Then the next thing I talked about there is the Smf Site Map. Okay, before I talk about this, I got to talk about adding your website to Google Postmaster 2 and other search engine Postmaster tools, both Yandex, Bing, Google Postmaster tools in general. Google Postmaster tools, both Google Analytics and Google Search Console. This is a kind of you sharing your data with Google, telling Google that, hey, my website is online. Or try to read data and gather data about my website so that I can be able to rank it on the Google search result. And these are also places that you can be able to track a lot of things that are going on, both sales for Google Analytics, sales and clicks and traffic in terms of Google Search Console, and a whole lot of things. Though, if you want to do this directly from the Google Search Console, it's going to be buggy in terms of understanding. That is the reason why we have a Google Analytics plugin, which you can integrate on your WordPress website, or if you're also a developer, you can do this as a developer from scratch or manually. You also have Monster Insight, which I'm going to leave all the links to all this in the description below for you to check all these great tools out. And remember, you are not paying for anything. You are not paying for all these tools. Everything is 100% free. It's just for you to just sign up and use it for, to your own benefit. What all these Google Analytics and Monster Insight, they help you to extract information from Google Analytics and try to give you a more clearer understanding of Google Analytics statistics. And of course, they are not for the one of Google Analytics plugin is totally free, but for Monster Insight is not completely free, but it is more friendly. But the basic one, the free version, is totally good for your current WordPress use or any CMS platform that you're using. So that is that about SML. That is that about Postmaster tools like Yandex. You can also go to Yandex, and which is a Russian search engine. I also add all this to your Yandex, and also Bing, which is Microsoft search engine. So that is that about that. The next thing we have is the Smf Site Map. And what the Site Map does is that it helps to scan, it helps search engines to crawl your website, telling search engines that, hey, anytime that you publish a post, it's going to alert the search engine board that you've already published a new post, so that they should consider recommending or indexing this post. For instance, you can always find all this sitemap option, the option to submit your sitemap inside your Google Search Console or any search console of any search engine. So what you go to down there, you just go to sitemap.com and input your domain name and generate your sitemap. After generating your sitemap, you can submit it to Google Search Console. And if you don't want to go maybe online, use the web to generate it, you can. If you have the Yoast plugin, you go to install the Yoast plugin, just go to the settings part and you'll be able to see the option to copy the sitemap. And the sitemap URL is always your domain name /sitemap/sml or something. So you are going to be able to see the correct URL. Just install Yoast plugin. Of course, I'm going to do the video subsequently. So the next thing is responsiveness. I talked about everything there. Responsiveness and responsive. Your website, of course, has to be mobile responsive, and you got to use a good host, and you got to have a whole plugin or way to automatically make sharing of your posts and pages easier for your website visitors. So that is these are what I spoke about in depthly. I can't say everything that I wrote about under the technical SEO guide. I'm going to leave the link, the direct link to this technical SEO guide under the description below. So that is all about the technical SEO guide. The next thing that we're able to add to jinsight.com is the jinsight.com agency. The things that we have under our agency, we have the strategic team, which will sit down with you and understand the goal of your marketing, the essence of your brand, the essence of anything that you want to start, which requires an online presence. From there, we are going to pass it on to maybe UI UX designers, and they're going to design the perfect representation of your brand and all the brand identities you need, the perfect branding that you need for your business. Then it will be passed to us, which are the web developer who will develop the website from scratch or design the website using the relevant platform that is available, that is best for both your budget and for your brand. So these are the things that we already added to J Insights, and we do hope that you are going to love it as you use them. And we just wish you the best. We just wish you the best on both your digital marketing journey and everything. So this is the new update about J Insights, and we already made a list of both blog posts and YouTube videos that we're going to publish soonest. And we implore you to join the family. If you are not yet a subscriber to the channel, we implore you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, to our YouTube channel, and wait for our next video next week.